So hi and welcome to another Tech Tuesday. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Razer BlackWidow Elite. This is the next version of the BlackWidow, following on from the Chroma V2 that's been out last year. So today we're going to go through the pros and cons. I'll tell you the good things and the bad things and some of the changes with this keyboard. If you haven't already been following my Tech Tuesday, I look at other gaming peripherals and other technologies, and if you want me to check something out, put a comment of what you want me to look at and I'll do my best to do that for you. So if you haven't already, I've done a review also on the Razer Huntsman. I'll put a link in the description for that. And if you hit the like button and give me more than 20 likes for this, I will do a comparison between the Huntsman and the new BlackWidow Elite here and tell you the differences, because they've got a very similar profile. And you might want to know what the differences are. I certainly would if I was looking at these two keyboards. So the price of this BlackWidow Elite is around 164 UK pounds or about 160 US dollars. Been out about 2 weeks from Razer. As you can see, it's following their new keyboard style, which is very similar to the Huntsman that's been released. And they're giving it more of a traditional look keyboard, which I'm definitely a fan of at the minute. I'm preferring this style. I've gone with the yellow switches here that are linear and silent. They do some green ones and they do the orange ones as well. So they're doing the standard keys with this, which is good to see. It's not just one set of keys like the green ones. They're doing all of them that they did with the Chroma V2. My preference is the yellows because I like the silence without the clicks, because I do it streaming. And I also find it a little bit nice without a tactile bump, hence the linear. It's nice to see Razer here have given us a palm rest, which they've done in the Chroma V2, but they didn't do with the version 1. Again, it's magnetic and it's following the profile of the keyboard. The BlackWidow here has the same sloped keyboard at the front with the Razer logo, that's RGB. One thing to note is once you've got the palm rest on, as you'd expect, it covers up that logo from Razer. But depends if you can use the palm rest or not, whether you're going to see that or not. For me, I do like the palm rest, but I don't generally use them. I find that although they're nice, they're not really something that I get on with. But the palm rests are nice. They're made out of like a faux leather. They've got an embossed Razer logo in the middle, and they're all very similar. They've all got the same kind of style. This is a little bit more of an angle compared to the Huntsman, following more of the traditional BlackWidow look.
Capture and hold the objectives. As many as possible, soldiers.
So the keycaps themselves are very nice. There's standard Razer keycaps here, nothing different from their usual keyboards if you're used to those. There's a little key wobble in these keys, which is nice. They don't have a stabilizer, but they've certainly got limited key wobble, which is nice to see. They're nice and firm when you're typing. What's nice to see here, is following Razer's theme here, is that the media keys are now built onto the Razer BlackWidow. Instead of having to use function and then the F7, F6, F8 keys, you've now got dedicated media keys. I wasn't too fond of these on the Huntsman, and on the Razer BlackWidow I'm exactly the same here. They're a little bit cheap. It would have been nice to have seen them with a little bit more quality. I do like the scroll wheel, but it does have a bit of an issue where if you apply pressure at a certain angle, it will tend to be a little bit sticky rather than smooth. If you're dead on with this button, it's nice and smooth up and down or backwards and forwards. But if you're on a slight angle, it does tend to be a little bit sticky. So hopefully Razer can sort that out. It's the same problem with the Huntsman as well. The RGB on this keyboard is nice. It comes using Synapsys 3 software, and it's RGB on the keys. There's no RGB around the keyboard. This is purely just on the keys itself. So let's get into the dimensions here. These are only approximate measurements, but to give you an idea, it comes in at a width of 440 millimeters. Comes in at a length of 165 millimeters. The rear depth is 22 millimeters. The front depth is 10 millimeters. If you drop the palm rest on it here, it comes in at a width of 230 millimeters. It comes in at a depth of 5 millimeters. So the keyboard's got a, I guess, 3-stage foot option on the rear. You've got no feet, you've got a low profile foot and a high profile foot. It's nice to see here that you can adjust the rear if you like it slightly more angled. One of the big differences here is the ability for different cable management options within this Black Widow. It's got a left channel, a right channel, a front channel, and also a downward channel. So if you drill a hole in your desk, you can push the cable directly down from the keyboard and you won't see any cable. It won't bend over the back. It'll literally go straight into the desk itself, and the keyboard will hide that, so it looks wireless, which is nice to see. It's got nice rubber feet underneath. It's going to be very sticky on the desk here. These do not move around. It's definitely a firm keyboard. I had no issues with it sliding about at all. This is definitely secure. What's nice to see now is Razer have moved the USB connectivity onto the left-hand side of the keyboard, so now it's out the way. Congratulations, we've finally had some kind of evolution here, because that's probably the biggest change for me, and certainly going to make me use this keyboard. You also got the 3.5mm audio/mic jack on the left-hand side as well, which is great. The cable itself is 7mm thick, so it is certainly a thick cable. It's certainly quite rigid and doesn't really manipulate very well, but that's because it's got two USB cables for your pass-through in the keyboard, and you've also got the 3.5mm jack as well. What's worth noting here is that if you've only got one USB port, you can plug that in and just ignore the pass-through. You don't have to have both in for the keyboard to work. It's like a smooth plastic finish on these keycaps. I do like them. The font is very subtle. It's pretty standard in terms of what you'd expect. There's nothing fancy about the font here. It's more of an Arial, I think, looking at it. And it comes in a US keyboard layout and a UK keyboard layout. So what's the quality of this keyboard like? Well, it's got Razer's usual high quality keyboard components. Some people might say they're not very high quality if you're looking at really custom keyboards. But for the general gaming peripheral market here, Razer's certainly using their top line products for this keyboard. It has what feels like an aluminium top layer added on top of a plastic bottom. And the palm rest itself is plastic with this faux leather sponged top. What I'm not 100% sure is if it's aluminium on the top here. It's either plastic or aluminium. It's very difficult for me to tell. I'm going to assume it's an aluminium top. Let me know in the comments what you think, if it's an aluminium top or not. And fingerprint resistance, well, it's actually pretty good. I cannot see it having any fingerprint problems here. This is certainly got a different coating to what they're usually using. The other Black Widows certainly were fingerprint magnets, and Razer's Black is normally a fingerprint magnet. But on this Black Widow itself, it seems quite good. I can't see it picking up fingerprints very easily, which is certainly different and not normal from some of the Razer products I've reviewed anyway. So let's see what's in the box. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Like I said, if you want me to do a comparison between the Black Widow Elite here and the new Huntsman Elite, let me know in the comments. And the same if you want me to compare it to a original Black Widow. I've got a Chroma V1. I can certainly compare it to that to give you an idea on different dimensions if you're interested in that as well. So thanks for liking. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you all again later. See you soon. Bye-bye. Put a link in the... And if you want me to check something out, put a comment in the description. And if you want me to check something out, put a comment in the comments. Following more of the traditional Razer look. Following more of the traditional Black Weaver look. Following more of the traditional Black Widow look. What's nice to see on the Black Widow here, although you normally used to get this with F7 and... is the USB pass-through, which was always on the right-hand side of these Razer keyboards, these Black Widows, which annoyed the hell out of me because it's always next to my keyboard.